We live in difficult times. We live in an age when the very future of humanity is not certain. Now, it's fascinating to read the story of human creation as it comes to us through the Quran. When God declared that he was establishing an assistant on earth who would take care of this planet for him, the angels could not understand his wisdom. And they said that the assistant that God was planning to create would cause havoc and bloodshed on earth. But God did not offer them any explanation. He simply replied to them that he knew what they knew not. And today we wonder what it was that God knew, but the angels knew not. We were sent here to beautify this planet and to take care of it, but we continue plundering it. We continue poisoning the very air that keeps us alive. We continue turning our oceans into deadly brew. We continue depleting our resources faster than they can be replenished. We continue robbing others of their resources in the name of globalization. And we continue annihilating each other. Humanity is committing suicide. And we wonder how long it will take before we drive ourselves to extinction. We certainly live in difficult times. We live in a brave new world in which we have divided humanity into two classes. We have humans and we have subhumans. Every human is unique with a name and a face, but subhumans have no names and no faces. Human children have parents and siblings. They grow up and fall in love. They get educated and become doctors and engineers and lawyers and politicians. But subhuman children have no mothers and no fathers. They have no sisters and no brothers. They don't grow up and they don't fall in love. They don't get educated. And the only career for them is to become suicide bombers. Indeed, we live in difficult times. We live in an age when our alliances change like the weather. Old history is wiped out and new history is written and rewritten as old friends turn into new foes and old adversaries become new partners. We stopped counting at 6 million, but the Holocaust continues. The Holocaust continues until this day, as we remove old tyrants and replace them with new tyrants who continue their reign of persecution and terror. Persecution breeds terrorism, and terrorism leads to more persecution. Where was the shock and awe when the world witnessed thousands of Kurdish men, women, and children lying dead in the valleys of Iraq? And what was the world doing when we saw hundreds of thousands of bloated human bodies floating in blood-red rivers of Rwanda? What was it that God knew, but the angels knew not? We failed to stop that bloodshed. We failed to stop that bloodshed. And if we failed to stop it, then we were responsible for it. If we were not part of the solution, then we were part of the problem. Darkness deepens as a cloud of smoke from exploding bombs and burning oil fields extends from horizon to horizon. Humanity is waiting for a ray of hope, a beacon of freedom, and a messenger of human dignity. Even the twinkle of a star or the glow of a firefly can provide the guiding light. Let Canada be that star. Let Canada be that firefly. Honorable members of Parliament, we at IDRF would like you to carry a message to your colleagues in Ottawa. We are told that the Canadian Army is in shambles. Of course, we don't have any designs to invade foreign lands or to rule other people, but we do need a strong army. We need an army of engineers who can build bridges between the communities of this world. We need an army of human rights advocates who can knock on every door and tell the world that all human beings are equal. Humanity is bleeding. And we need an army of paramedics who can put soothing ointment on its wounds. If we don't become a part of the solution, then we'll certainly be a part of the problem. Thank you very much.